one of the 1986 Rothmans Circuit of Ireland Rally. It's 8:30 on Good Friday morning in front of the best-known landmark in Belfast, the City Hall. It's from here that the cars will start, and on this day they have 10 special stages ahead of them, taking in 95 miles in a broad clockwise loop around Lough Neagh. Then on they go on their Circuit of Ireland to finish up here just before 2 on Tuesday. Now the cars are due to leave from here in 1-minute intervals from 9 o'clock. Right now they're being organised on the Stranmillis embankment about 2 miles away, and with them there is Gary Gillespie.
Yes, George, and here at Stranmillis embankment the top 10 cars are forming up, headed of course by number 1 Hannu Mikkola. Hannu, did you sleep well last night?
Yes, very well.
No last minute problems?
No, not at all. Car has been ready for a few days already, so that's been very good.
So what's the plan this morning? It's a nice bright start to the day. Will you be going fast right from the beginning?
Oh, I try to drive so fast I can. If the information is true, it will not be very long time bright like it is now. They already told us that it might be snow.
Well, Russell Brooks, the morning started in sunshine, but it's getting a little bit grayer now.
Yes.
What do you think for the prospects for the weather this morning?
Well, I see the weather forecast is for sleet or maybe a bit of snow on very high ground, and I think it's going to be typical of an early Easter, really. I mean, we're going to have a bit of sunshine and a lot of rain, maybe even a bit of snow and sleet here and there. It's going to be very difficult conditions to choose tyres for.
What are you going to do at the beginning? You're going to go very fast to try and establish yourself right at the top of the leaderboard and forget about the supercars?
It's difficult to know what to do, really. I mean, we want to win this rally. I mean, we're not here to finish second or third, really. And the problem is our car is 265 horsepower, and even the Metros are 380 and the Quattro's 500. And I think the answer is we cannot afford to let them get away from us, because then they can take it easy. If there's perhaps 1 or 2 left in the end, we've got to go very hard right from the word go and just see what happens.
Callie Grundle, people are saying that your RS200 is going to be very fast, but it might not last throughout the entire event. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the car is very good, and I think it's good here in these bumpy stages, but in this event I think it's no sense to try to do 100% attack. So I think we have to go a little bit careful, and I'm not used to this event and I have never been here, so I will be careful and see how fast the others are driving, and then we will see what's happened. So we have no idea where we are standing.
Jimmy McRae, a great start to your Metro career in the National Breakdown. How do you think you're going to go on the circuit?
Well, we've done quite a bit of testing with the car, and I'm very happy with it. You know, the car's very quick, and it's very good on the tarmac, so we're hoping for good things.
Is it ready to finish a Circuit of Ireland, though?
Well, that's the big problem, I suppose. We don't really know. Even the works cars haven't done as tough an event as this, and it is the toughest event. So I think initially we just take it a bit easy just to see, how everything's going to work. But I'm sure the car is quick enough to win the event.
Billy Coleman, this time last year you were having your first competitive drive in the Porsche. I think it took you just a little while to get to grips with it, but now it could be a different story.
I hope it will be anyway, Gary. As you say, last year I was very ill at ease with the car. It was my first rally in it, and 12 months later now I feel very confident with the car. And mind you, the opposition has got a bit tougher in the meantime as well.
Well, you started the season in great form in Galway, and of course you have once more the camera inside the car. Are you used to that now?
That's right, yeah. I suppose I can't really make any mistakes with the camera, so that's something to look out for. But I think the weather is going to be crucial in this rally more than ever, because there's a lot of talk about snow, and with the four-wheel drive cars, even in dry conditions they've got an advantage, but if it turns snowy or slush, they have a huge advantage. So I just hope it doesn't get too wintry.
And of course the man with the second Rothmans Porsche, Saeed Al-Hajri, also has a camera in the car, but this time it's right down at the front. Saeed, what sort of pictures do you think we're going to get from this camera?
First thing, I hope this camera in good safety place, because if anything happens, this camera going to break down, And I think this camera going to take very good shots for the rally.
Well, the first of the Northern Ireland competitors, Dan Daly. Dan, it really is a question of the privateers not having much of a chance against these massive works teams.
Well, I would agree with you, Gary, there. You have no chance at all. The only thing you have to do is try and stay on the road, keep the car going, get her to the finish in Belfast on Tuesday. It's a long, hard struggle for a privateer such as myself. The car is totally self-prepared. It's prepared in our own garage, our own Nissan franchise in Belfast, and it's to full work specification, so can't do any better than that.
Well, Frank Fennell, not just a rally car, but a rally car equipped with a tremendous telecommunications system. Tell us about that.
Well, it's only been fitted yesterday, but we look forward to phoning home and phoning Michael over there, and our service crew, Richard Lyons, his wife has a telephone as well, so perhaps we'll talk to her as well. But it's nice to be able to keep in touch.
I don't think you'll have much time once you get onto the stages, though, to make any telephone calls.
No, and we want to make sure it doesn't ring during the action either.
Well, so far this morning, the only panic has been the late arrival of Austin McHale, whose Opel Manta was very late in arriving at the embankment. But there's no time control here. He didn't incur any penalties, and there doesn't seem to be any real problem. So the scene is set for the Circuit of Ireland 1986. Now we are waiting for the start.
Miss Northern Ireland flags away the world's most successful rally driver, Hannu Mikkola, in the Audi Quattro S1. Behind him, the RS200 of Kalle Grundle, Ford's first serious challenge for victory in 8 years.
They have a three-car rally team, and we're putting on all sorts of...
Then last year's winner, Jimmy McRae, this time in a Metro 6R4. He could equal Paddy Hopkirk's all-time record of 5 wins by Easter Tuesday. Stage 1, and almost unbelievably, the drama of the 1986 event has started already. Grundle, not Mikkola, is the first car through. Jimmy McRae follows, bedding his new car in gently, but still deceptively fast. Billy Coleman attacks right from the word go, as we take our first lightning trip inside the Porsche.
Bad right to crest. Repeat, bad right to crest. Bad right now. Bad left opens 40. Sharp left 60. Sharp right into bad left. Crest into square right. And sharp left. 70 over long crest, last pole, bad right.
That is Mikkola, stranded on the stage.
Pole, bad right.
Saeed El Hajri in the second Rothmans Porsche is about to show us the same piece of road from his low-level camera, a first for rally television coverage. But back inside Coleman's car in stage 2, we come across a greater problem. Kelly Grundle's Ford is parked in a gateway. From above, we see that the driver is left with no choices. There are spectators in the road. Kelly approaches the bend. There are 2 boys in the road. One escapes, but the other is hit. Luckily, he only suffers chest and leg injuries. A terrifying incident in a morning which generally saw excellent behavior. The Metros lead, Jimmy McRae and Di Llewellin after stage 1. Billy Coleman is now 3rd in the Rothmans Porsche. Harry Toivonen, 4th overall in the 6R4 Metro. And Russell Brooks, 5th in the Manta 400. Michael Sundstrom is 6th in the 205 Turbo 16. He takes it very gently here. And Austin McHale really flying in 7th place. El Hajri is in 8th and about to run into trouble as he approaches a flat-out right-hander after a very, very fast straight. Well, do you still want to be a rally driver? Miraculously, the only damage was to the lights and the rear bumper. Mark Lovell in the more fortunate Ford heralds the arrival of Mikola, who is desperately trying to stay in the event. And now the sorry sight as Grundle tours to the end of the stage, his supercar showing the marks of that horrifying accident. The future of Ford in the rally is in question as Lovell checks into the service area at Dungannon. Team manager Peter Ashcroft examines a tricky situation very closely.
I think it's an isolated incident. I've spoken briefly to Kelly and told him to continue through the third stage. I think what happened was he came through a corner, two people were walking in the road with their backs to him. They went to move to the right off the road, and then one took it into his mind to go across the road to the left, and Kelly had no chance to miss him at all. He just hit him with the front right-hand rear wing. I think it's very sad, and I'm concerned obviously about the person concerned. I think he's broken a leg. I don't think he's too seriously hurt. I hope not. Really, our decision as to whether we carry on is Kelly's and how he feels about it. I think the organisation has been good. There's a lot of spectator control cars out. Crowd control seems to be good. I think it's just an isolated incident.
For Jimmy McRae and the Banters in general, it's been a much more pleasant morning.
Taking it very quietly and learning the car, but the car's very quick between the corners, so we've had no problems and everything's going according to plan.
Looks like a Metro 1-2 at the moment.
Yeah, but we've a long way to go. It's very early days. The cars are running well.
What sort of servicing are you doing here now?
We're raising the car slightly because it seems to be a bit low in the very bumpy, narrow roads, and just generally checking the car.
Hannu Mikola, you've had quite a bit to do to your car.
Yes, you know, we had a clutch problem. The other of those main cylinders got stuck, and it took quite a while for me to get it loose on the stage. So we lost 14 minutes.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, yes.
And then you've had more problems since, and I see them building a front wing on your car.
Yeah, we had a puncture on the third one 3 miles before the end, and this punctured tire just ripped off one of the wings.
I seem to recall some years ago you had a bad start to, was it the Scottish Rally?
Yes.
You had to drive out of a ditch, and still you went on to win it.
Yes, yes.
So it's not over yet?
No, you know, this is a long one. Maybe it's not possible to win, but we will see. Maybe we can do a good result.
Mikola's problems are normal in rallying, but the shattered windscreen of Kalle Grundle's car signified a much deeper despair. The accident was unavoidable, but now the Swedish driver has to unscramble his agonized thoughts and go back into that competition. Understandably, he did not want to talk about it.
By early afternoon, the cars are heading north to Banty Bridge. On the previous stage, there was a three-way tie for the fastest time between Brooks, Llewellin and Grundle. Jimmy McRae's Metro suffered from steering problems. Could only manage 10th fastest. That cost him the lead. But here at Banty Bridge, he's trying hard to restore his supremacy. Billy Coleman is maintaining his top 5 position in the Rothmans Porsche 911. Everything looks calm and relaxed from the air, but inside the car, it's hard work.
Easy bump, 200. Bridge, keep left, fast jump, 30. Easy bump, 200 gates. Right over crest, bump, 30 bridge. Left slow right over bump. Too slow left over crest, 100, turn hairpin left. 200. Easy right over crest, stay in, 1/2.
Special Stage 5 is 7.68 miles long. Coleman does it in 7 minutes 15 seconds, but he's still only 6th fastest. And he too has an anxious moment with spectators.
And easy left, 30. Mid right, 100 bridge. Slide left, 400. right, 1/4. Repeat, sharp right, 1/4.
Mark Lovell in the second Ford RS 200 has made a solid start to the circuit on the day after his 26th birthday. The young Englishman is last year's National Rally champion, and he'd love to have a circuit win to his credit. Dubliner Austin McHale has also made a steady start in his new Opel Manta 400. Although not as powerful as the supercars of rallying, the Manta is still capable of victory, and McHale wants to be there at the finish. After his excursion into the scenery earlier in the day, Middle East champion Saeed Al-Hajri has settled down again and takes no chances through a wet spot. But honours on stage 5 go to Finnish star Michael Sundström, who hasn't looked spectacular but has been recording some very fast times. Here at Banty Bridge, he's a full 5 seconds ahead of the field. And as the cars head off to the next stage, you can see just how popular rallying has become and the problems that popularity can cause. The long line of traffic leading into Tobermoor was also repeated in Cookstown and Macrafelt, among other places. David Llewellin, who so nearly won the first round of the British Championship, the National Breakdown Rally, is proving it was no fluke. He's a second quicker than McRae over Tullycreran Bridge. The Metro domination continues. Sundström will tie with Coleman here, 3 seconds slower than the leader. But the Irishman can take comfort in being the best placed of the two-wheel drive cars. Russell Brooks, in the ultimate development of the Manta 400, is now heading towards his favourite North Antrim stages. And Austin McHale in the so-called welterweight Shell Opel Manta must be happy with his 6th place at this stage of the event. But if Hannu Mikkola is going to retain his championship lead, it'll mean driving at 10/10ths for the next 4 days, with Quattro certainly moving at a cracking pace. Callie Grundle, now with lights ablaze, is also trying to make up for lost time. But by the time Louise Aiken-Walker arrives, the weather has worsened and her Nissan 240 RS is caught out on the wrong tyres.
Russell Brooks, the Glendon stage, is a home from home. It was where he took the lead in the Ulster Rally, and again he is fastest over it this time. The Mantas seem to revel in it. Austin McHale is almost over the edge in the Shell Oil Steeler Opel Team Ireland car. And the charging Mikkola lifting a wheel as the 500 brake horsepower goes down on the road with the Audi Quattro. 58th place after his troubles in the early stages, and the Quattro is eating up the lower numbers. Callie Grundle is now 35th, knuckling down to the job like a true professional. But his heart can hardly be in it. Next, the ever-exciting Pentia Ricola, leading Group A. And no wonder. Coleman comes up the other side of the valley in the equally spectacular Orla Lodge stage. Even if the scenic glens of Antrim are not at their best, there's plenty of good vantage points. The hairpin at Orla Lodge is not the place to be stuck in second gear, and that's Mark Lovell's problem. Mikkola seems to ascend even quicker than the descent. He will make up 6 places in these 9 miles to make him 19th overall. Cyril Bolton in the Clubman specification press part 6R4 is now in the top 10. Ahead of him, Vincent Bonner, 9th overall. Evidence of rally misfortunes of the past are everywhere, as John Price in 24th place on the Renault 5 Turbo is trying to make up places. Then come the two 240 RS Nissans belonging to Englishman Simon Davidson and Belfast driver Dan Daly. Look closely at this Astra because Andrew Wood has been on his roof on stage 4. Up to then, he had been in close combat for the category with Penty Auricola, who has now got a 4-minute lead in his mobile telephone box. Penty is repeating his form on the opening round of the British Championship, and the former circuit winner has been on top from the start.
So we actually were leading from the start. We have a new car and it seems to handle very well. And also, I think we have the right type of tires, so we've been very lucky and happy.
Rain was falling on the penultimate stage of the day at Sala, but Billy Coleman kept up the two-wheel drive challenge just a minute off the pace.
Mid-left stay in, 60 kink. Easy left, 500 over crest, white line. Slight left opens, 600. Repeat, slight left opens, 600. Right flat and left flat over crest, 200.
Stage 10 at Boyd's Quarry, a special treat for the spectators at the end of the day. A chance to see their heroes up close on a closed circuit. Heroics in plenty from the man who's been providing us with some spectacular pictures, Saeed Al-Hajri. Day one belonged to a Welshman, David Llewellin, who snatched the lead in the middle of the day and refused to give it up.
I would have been quite happy to be in the top 5 at the end of the first day. I've gone nice and steadily, and I'm in the position I am because a few of the other people have had problems. Hanno stopped 13 minutes in the first stage, and Callie Grundle had an unfortunate incident with a spectator, and Jimmy had a small problem with his steering, so perhaps we're a little bit lucky to be in the position we are.
Now, you'll have seen that horrifying incident earlier in the programme. The latest word on the youngster who was knocked down during stage 2 is that he's been transferred from Craigavon to the Royal Victoria Hospital in Belfast. His condition is serious but stable. Bill Martin is the clerk of the course. Now, you were very keen to make everybody aware that rallying is dangerous. It's almost as if you foresaw something like this happening.
Well, unfortunately, the organisers of this event and of all events in the world are well aware of the dangers of rallying, and it's something that we've been trying to point out to the public over the last 12 months, and especially over the last couple of months. I think the incident today has just highlighted the dangers. Unfortunately, the sport has grown in popularity at a far quicker rate than the public have grown in their awareness of the dangers involved with the sport.
Given the fact that stages take place on what are otherwise open roads, so there's free access, are you satisfied that you're doing all you can?
We're satisfied with the measures that we have taken on this year's event, and the heartening thing, despite the incident which happened today, is that the competitor involved, and in fact the other crews, have commented on the standard of safety that has been employed on this event.
So there it is, day one of the 1986 Rothmans Circuit of Ireland Rally, and a bit of a surprise at the top of the leaderboard. David Llewellin there in the four-wheel drive Metro, the new Metro, is leading them in. And look at who's in second place, Jimmy McRae, who won it last year in the Opel Manta. He's in another four-wheel drive Metro, and he's number 2. and making it a 1-2-3 for the new four-wheel drive cars, the Peugeot driven by Michael Sundstrom. Yes, they've really come good in the first day of the 1986 circuit. Now, in fourth place, Billy Coleman, the leading Irishman. All the eyes of Cork are on him, and they'll be smiling tonight because Coleman is only a minute behind the leader, Llewellin. Just a minute between them. On down we go, Austin McHale in sixth place in his brand new Manta. Cracking drive from him on the opening day. And then down to ninth place, and the man from Dunlow and Donegal, Vincent Bonner, making it 3 Irishmen in the top 10. It's been a good day for the Irish, the first day of the 1986 circuit. Now tomorrow, 3:30 a.m. is the starting time in Belfast. Yes, would you fancy getting up that early? The drivers, the co-drivers, they have to. And they're off for 10 stages on the way south. They take in the RDS, the special stage in the grounds of the RDS in Dublin, then on to the classics in the Wicklow Mountains, Sally Gap and Ochhavana, before they arrive in Waterford. What, about 14 hours after they've left here, sometime after 5 tomorrow afternoon. A long day's journey into night, you could say. It should be a good day's rallying, but let's hope that tomorrow all of our reporting is about the sport itself. Good night for now.
And you know, Porsche, very sideways cars, and I come very quick for like very tight pint, you know, like medium right, something like this, and I can't stop the cars, you know, and just I go sideways and I go down to the field, and the car is not coming out.
20. Square right, and long crest, and bad right. Sharp left, 30. Fast right, 30. Crest 40, left and square left. Repeat, crest 40, left and square left, 1/2 firm mud.
We're leading the two-wheel drive brigade, and we seem to be splitting the four-wheelers. So, and in fact, we've taken a small bit of time. I think we're just 54 seconds off the lead now, so that's not so bad.
Well, I think that's the big story. You're actually taking time back off the metros at the moment.
Well, it appears that the David and Jimmy had some minor excursions on a couple of the stages, so we had a fairly smooth run. There was a lot of mud on the road here and there. In fact, there was even ice on the last one, which cut out a few people, but I think it's narrowing down slightly, yeah.
Well, your Galway practice would be good for the icy one.
That's right, yeah. Although I can tell you I could have done without the ice at 4 o'clock this morning.
Crest into turn bad right, don't cut. 60. Square right, 30 kink.
Day 2 of the Rothman Circuit of Ireland Rally 1986, and a long night's driving behind the crews, 60 of whom left Belfast at 3:30 in the morning. It's now 8 o'clock, and 59 of them are making their way into Dublin. The lead is still with Jimmy McRae. I say still because you, like us, may have gone to bed thinking that it was in fact David Llewellin who was in front in the other Metro 6R4. In fact, stage 2, in which that horrific accident took place, was cancelled because the stewards thought it would be unfair to the man involved, Calle Grundle. So Grundle has moved up the leaderboard. He is now pressing hard, ominously in 4th position. But as I say, it's McRae after the 4 stages this morning in front, though he's being pressed all the way by David Llewellin in the other Metro. Billy Coleman now, he's moving up the leaderboard too, one of 3 Irishmen involved in the top 10, the other 2 being Austin McHale, who had a bit of a scare on the way down, went into a farmyard, but he got out again okay. And also, of course, the man whose car is standing behind us, Vincent Bonner from Dunlow and Donegal. Yes, the Irish still very much involved, 4 stages on in the 1986 circuit.
Jimmy, you've been in the lead, out of the lead, and now back in the lead. Tremendous stuff.
Yes, well, it's we had a bit of an indiscretion 2 stages ago. I hit this accelerator along with the brake on a 90 right, and we went straight into the hedge, so we dropped a bit of time there, and we've now got the car sorted out. It was all right in the last stage.
Jimmy was, I think, 5 seconds in front of us when we started this morning, and we took something like 20 seconds or 25 seconds off him during the next 3 stages. And on the last stage, though, we'd been running slicks all morning, and I think the choice was right for the first 3 stages. That's why we were quicker than him. but on the last stage it was the wrong choice and he took it all back and a bit more. He took 35 seconds back off us, so Jimmy's back in the lead again now.
The man who's missing, though, is Saeed Al Hajri. Somewhat sensational, it must be said. The man driving the other Rothmans Porsche, and the man who had that marvellous low-slung camera which gave us great shots last night. He's gone from the rally, having gone off the road on special stage 12, Bells Hill, near Ballynahinch in County Down.
You know, Porsche, very sideways cars. And I come very quick for like very tight pint, you know, like medium right, something like this. And I can't stop the cars, you know, and just I go sideways and I go down to the field. And the car is not coming out.
There was no way back?
No spectator to push the car and no chance to go out, yeah.
Callie Grundle, restored to 4th place overnight, is still troubled by yesterday's accident.
Yeah, the night went quite careful. I was starting up very slowly and then we tried to come in the event again, and it's quite good. But we went off in the last one now and out on the field and turned around a little bit, but that's the only problem. Otherwise it works quite good, but my feelings are not what it should be after the accident in the second stage there, and I don't feel so happy to drive, but okay, we try and we will see what we can do.
And so to stage 15, another spectator special, this time at the Royal Dublin Society Showgrounds, the home of Irish show jumping, where for once horses are replaced by horsepower. Having gained, lost and regained the lead in a couple of hours, Jimmy McRae was determined to make no mistake. The battle of the Metros was on again, with David Llewellin making a real charge for that top position. He and McRae returned identical times around the tight little circuit. Wasn't a stage which suited the remaining Porsche of Billy Coleman and Ronan Morgan. The 911 couldn't find a straight long enough to show its speed.
Half left. Square right. Half right. Half left. Caution, through there, caution. And left.
But Callie Grundle's extra grip in the Ford RS 200 helped him to record the fastest time on the stage. Russell Brooks has been playing a waiting game in the Manta 400. He's in 5th position and well in touch with the leaders. Austin McHale was 6th overnight, but a slide off the road on the previous stage cost him vital seconds and he dropped 1 position. Here in the RDS, things are pretty slippery too. Hannu Mikkola is facing what seems like mission impossible. Those first day clutch problems dropped him to 58th at one point, but he's fighting back. Quattro is fairly crackling along, but is it a case of for whom the bell tolls?
After the midi right angles of the RDS, we climb into real rally country. 2 stages whose names are whispered in awe when any tales of the Circuit of Ireland are told: Sally Gap and Auchavana. The fans had largely ignored the city centre entertainment, which had been laid on for them, and flocked in their customary thousands to the Dublin mountains. Nature had added snow to the intriguing equation. 27 miles of the best rallying country were now ahead. Jimmy McRae has a 21-second advantage over his metro mate, David Llewellin. Billy Coleman is only 41 seconds adrift of the supercars. Strangely, he is not particularly looking forward to the next 27 miles, as he doesn't think they will suit the Porsche. But let's go inside as we come up to Sally Gap.
Fast left, 70. Turn bad right. Repeat, turn bad right. To sharp left, 70 kink. Left 30, slow right 40. Repeat, 40 kink. Sharp right to sharp left.
Brooks in 5th must attack. He's no stranger to this country. And Kelly Grundle has only 4 seconds in hand over the English driver. Not a comfortable position. Then comes Austin McHale. These are his 2 favourite stages in Ireland. Harry Toivonen in the Unipart Metro is 6th, but only 1 minute 29 seconds behind Russell Brooks. And there is great home support for Vincent Bonner in the Opel Ascona 400. 9th overall and loving every moment of it. Auchavana, Llewellin is on the wrong tyres. Billy Coleman is driving beautifully, but he can't match the power of the Metros in the mountains. Brooks leaps the lightweight Manta, and he moves up to 4th place, at Kelly Grundle's expense in the Ford. McHale in his home country, and the crowds are out to cheer him on. Harry Toivonen, who comes from the famous Finnish family, is ahead on the road of another famous Finn, who we are sadly just about to see the last of. Hannu Mikkola retires later on that stage with suspension problems. Vincent Bonner leaps his way towards the Kilkenny service hall.
Even on the road, so over the little bumps?
Aye, over the little bumps, it's more like a ball joint there.
Okay.
Then when you really hit the hard bumps,
Although the leader talks of minor worries with the Metro, McRae's correct tyre choice has stretched his advantage to a more comfortable margin.
Well, we're 40-odd seconds in front of David Llewellin at the moment. Then after that, we're really not sure.
You must have made quite a lot of time up on him then this morning.
We took some time off him down Agavana, the last stage. We took sort of 30 seconds off him down there.
I heard you talking about a rattle in the back of the car. What's the problem?
There's just a rattle. It's like a loose ball joint or something. They're just checking it now, and they found that there's a cracked brake disc in the back, so they're going to change that.
You think the Metros are surprising people in the event so far?
Well, it's been going very well up to now, and if it keeps going like this, I'll be quite happy.
The reason we dropped so much time to Jimmy was on the last two stages we went in on slicks and he went in on wets, and it turned out to his advantage. The last stage was very, very wet and he took 30 seconds out of us on one stage.
Well, the weather is really turning nasty now. What sort of tyres are you putting on here in service?
Well, it's so difficult, isn't it? Because it's 1 minute it's like this and next minute it blows away and the stages are drying out. And of course, if you put a very soft, wet tyre on and the stage is dry, you can run into all sorts of problems with the rubber overheating and have like been very nearly on ice. So
it's down to guesswork.
Yes, it is really, and I hope that Jimmy will get his choice wrong next time and mine will be right and I can take some more time off him.
But Tom Walsh, you're the service organiser for Billy Coleman. There's a lot of work going on with the wheels and the steering at the moment. Is there a problem?
There's no problem at the moment. It's just retracking the steering, centering the steering up. The steering wheel seems to be a little off-centre, so it's just recentering it so that it feels better in his hands.
The weather has turned a bit nasty now. What sort of tyres are you going to give him for the next stages?
We're going on a combination, wets in front and intermediates rears, as a combination to suit all conditions.
And just to prove how difficult it is to predict the Tipperary weather, the sun was shining on Special Stage 18. 13 miles on a fast country lane over Slieve-na-Mon. It's a stage Austin McHale knows well, and he puts his experience to good use as he catches and passes Mark Lovell in the RS200. Jimmy McRae holds his lead as the Metro 6R4 splashes onto stage 19. Welshman Llewellin tries hard, but still loses another 5 seconds to the Flying Scot. Coleman's controlled driving in the Rothmans Porsche is quicker than either of the Metros here. But Callie Grundle is the quickest of the lot. Stage 20, Portlaw. Cars are heading back to Waterford. Llewellin is trying to dust off the opposition. Billy Coleman goes through, but the car is sounding rough. 3-time circuit winner Russell Brooks is having a trouble-free run in the Manta. But Coleman has a definite problem at the back of the Porsche.
Slow puncture on the right rear. Yeah. Long mid right. 300. Press 30. Quick right. 300. Yeah, 300. Right flat over crest. 80. Slide right. 200. Crest 1/2. Mid left tightens. Maybe wet. 30. Fast right opens. 300.
Vincent Bonner also has his hands full in the Opel Ascona 400. But Coleman's rear tyre is now completely flat, and it's vibrating badly.
And the wheel is tight. The wheel is tight. Go on, mind that. Keep going.
Englishmen Simon Davison and Mark Atkinson are enjoying the final stage of the day, which is more than you can say for Coleman and Morgan, as they lose a lot of time and drop a place on the leaderboard.
Well, isn't that a shame? No, I know that. My God, the last stage into Waterford is bad luck for us, isn't it?
Waterford at last, and a welcome break for the crews. What an eventful day it's been. Saeed Al-Hajri crashing out early on, and Hannu Mikkola finally calling it a day with suspension problems. But it's been a good day for Jimmy McRae.
We've had no problems today. We seem to have been in the right, well, near enough the right tyre at the right time.
Which was the one that made the big difference? Salligap, Agavana?
Agavana coming down, it was very wet, and we had an intermediate wet tyre, and it really paid off there.
Hopefully tomorrow I'll make some correct tyre choices and Jimmy won't, so we'll be able to grab a bit more time back off him. But as you say, they are very fast stages, and the Metro has got a good top speed, so it will suit the car very well.
Apart from tyre choice, there's been no other problems?
No, it's been going very well. The car has run perfectly. We've had a few small brake problems, but nothing more than that.
Billy Coleman, it was all going perfectly until just before the village of Port Law on the last stage.
That's right, Tom. We had our annual Saturday afternoon puncture coming into Waterford in the last stage. Not as bad as last year, but it's cost us about 4 minutes. So it means that we're now fourth. We've dropped one place, and I think we're about 5 minutes off the lead, and we had been just over one.
Well, the reliability that these four-wheel drive cars are showing, it's going to be virtually impossible to make back 4 minutes if they keep going at that pace.
Well, there's no doubt about that, but I mean, I'd be surprised if people don't have trouble. I mean, I've had a bit of trouble now. We're barely we're not even halfway yet. The only thing from my point of view is it's a bit like having a goal scored against you just before half-time. It's psychologically, it's not a good time to lose 4 minutes, but I'll be out there fighting again tomorrow.
I think this rally is really showing up the fact that the Manta's a little bit aged and getting to the end of its life now. I mean, we're something like 100 to 200 horsepower down on some of the cars, but it's going very, very well. I'm really quite pleased with the position.
What was your tyre choice like today? Did that work out well for you?
Probably better than average, but nothing's ever perfect on a circuit of Ireland like this. I mean, you pick slicks and it rains, you pick full wets and it's bone dry. You just haven't got a clue, and really you've got to choose something in between and make the best of it.
It's all very fast stuff tomorrow. Can you maintain your position?
We'd like it to be bone dry, then we haven't got a disadvantage against the four-wheel drive cars out of muddy corners, and maybe we can if it's like that.
We've had a lot of problems with our new car, but the circuit is very long and the conditions haven't really suited the Manta so far, but we're very determined to finish it this year because we haven't finished it over the last few years, and hopefully the car is staying together very well. We have no problems. We're just after changing an axle now. The one was in was getting slightly noisy, so we play by ear and hope that's all the problems that we have.
Louise, it seems to have been a day of choosing the right tyres and keeping out of the slippery bits. How's it gone for you?
Well, I think we've just run an intermediate all day because it's a little bit muddy on the corners, so we're just playing safe at the moment.
Well, now, of course, you're years ahead almost in the ladies' prize, but it's not really the ladies' prize you're interested in, is it?
No, we're having a good battle with this man in front here, Vince.
We're surprised to be in the top 10 at the moment because since we have left Belfast, we have nothing but problems with fuel, starvation. And as we're coming on down the country, it's getting worse and worse and worse. We're trying to eliminate it. It's very, very hard to get the problem now.
The time rapidly running out here in service at Waterford. Michael Sudstrom.
Yeah, we had to change the gearbox now, the complete gearbox, and it seems that the mechanics do very, very good and quick work because they have worked only 50 minutes and now it seems to be ready in maybe 2-3 minutes.
Are you going to make it in time?
Yeah, we have some lateness, but we're still in the rally.
Problems of running a sophisticated supercar on the circuit are graphically illustrated as the Peugeot Talbot mechanics crawl all over the Turbo 16 in an effort to beat the clock. Only 17 minutes of service are allowed. The skills of the mechanics perform miracles in far from ideal circumstances. There is a further panic. The gear lever is not connected. Parc Ferme is only yards away, but those yards could shatter dreams and destroy a project costing hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Day 2 completed, 3 more to go, and this is how the Rothmans Circuit of Ireland Rally 1986 looks after 20 of its 51 stages. Jimmy McRae and David Llewellin, last night's top 2, still there, still in front in the Metro 6R4s, and the little four-wheel drive cars, they're stretching their lead in this rally at the moment. McRae, going for his 5th circuit win, which would equal Paddy Hopkirk's record, is really stretching out in front and determined to do well and making the rest chase hard. Russell Brooks now in third place with Billy Coleman after the incident today when he had the equivalent of a last-minute goal scored against him with that puncture on the final stage. He's now in fourth place, but he said to us after the stages today that it wasn't over yet. The rally was still there for the winning as far as he was concerned. And then what about Cally Grundle in fifth place after that awful accident yesterday? He's still driving hard in the Ford RS200, and it's not over yet by any means for him. But the top 10 still looking good as far as Ireland is concerned. Seventh place, Austin McHale, and in 10th, Vincent Bonner. So 3 Irishmen still in the top 10 and still forcing the running. I would stress, though, at this stage, those results still provisional. They have to check on possible road penalties before the final results are declared later on tonight. So the counting not over yet, but that's the general shape of the leaderboard at the moment after the 20 of the 51 stages. Now tomorrow, the Sunday run around Waterford and into County Tipperary as well. 10 stages. Some of them have become classics in their own right as well. We've Slieve-na-Mon, Kilmurran Cove and Portlaw. A lot of rallying to look forward to. It's another early start for the drivers, 6 o'clock. Bearing in mind the clocks go forward tonight, we'll all be deprived of an hour's sleep. I don't know how we're going to manage it. But I think one way or the other we'll have great rallying tomorrow. And I hope you can join us tomorrow night for another Circuit Report 1986. For now, though, good night to you.
Day 3 of the 1986 Rothman Circuit of Ireland Rally, and an early start for the drivers. It's just 6 o'clock in the morning, and yet already the crews are preparing to take to the roads. There are 10 stages today, really a rally within a rally. It's the famous Sunday run. Remember how we left it last night? It was a Metro 1-2. Jimmy McRae leading the Welshman, David Llewellin. Then Russell Brooks, he went third after Billy Coleman's puncture in the last stage of the day. How's it going to work out today? Will the Metro stick the pace, or will the two-wheel challenge reassert itself? The action starts at Geneva Barracks.
The very early starts are not popular, and the change to summertime doesn't help. But the Metro battle continues. Overnight, Jimmy McRae and Ian Grinrod had a 1 minute 38 second advantage over Llewellin and Short. It's very wet and nasty, playing into the hands of the four-wheel drive cars. Russell Brooks and Mike Broad lead the two-wheel drive brigade. He's 2.5 minutes adrift of the Metros. Then comes Billy Coleman, 1 minute 7 seconds behind Brooks. But where's Cally Grundle? The lead Ford is missing. It seems that Toivonen has now moved up to 5th. Austin McHale and Christy Farrell reveling in the conditions. They are just 1 minute behind the third Metro. Mark Lovell and Peter Davis will have passed their stranded teammate and are aware that they now carry the full weight of Ford behind them. But another four-wheel drive challenger is missing, Sundstrom. It's 3 fast miles to Woodstown for Vincent Bonner and Rory Kennedy, but not as fast as they would like as the top-end misfire persists. 2 minutes behind them, Louise Aiken-Walker and Ellen Morgan, battling with the Donegal crew for class honours and that coveted position in the top 10. Stage 22, Corbally. McRae sounds fine, but there are rumours that all is not healthy in the Rothmans camp. That's as ragged as we have seen Llewellin in the Austin Rover so far. Russell Brooks must be realising that there are now definite cracks in the Supercar Challenge, albeit later than expected. And And now there's a surprising 4-minute wait before Billy Coleman in the Rothmans Porsche arrives, causing considerable panic in the Cork camp.
Bring it back in! Get back in now!
But all is well, or is it?
Long mid-left 40, junction, keep left.
Billy is on the wrong tyres and he fights desperately to keep the powerful Porsche on the road.
300 Kingston Junction. Right 30, slow left. And bridge and sharp right, pump. 50, quick right. 100, right flat, 300.
Ricola and Ronan McNamee lead Group A, they're 12th overall. Simon Davidson and Mark Atkinson are 1 place behind, and then David Medcalf and Paul Watkins in the Castrol Astra, who are 2nd in Group A. Another battle for class honours, Eddie Coulton and Frank Scanlon in the Peugeot dealer team, having a mighty battle with Richard Hall and Robin Lyons. Only 20 seconds separates them. Hall leads. Andrew Wood and Mike Nicholson. Still 12 minutes adrift of Group A. After that, roll on the first day. Whereas Harry Hockley and John Meadows, working hard here, are in their customary class lead in the Nova. The important Group N category for standard cars is being led by County Down drivers Stanley Orr and John Armstrong in the SC Engines Toyota Corolla. But the supercar crisis is beginning to unfold as we intercept Gary Gillespie on his mobile radio.
We've lost 2 of the supercars this morning. Sundstrom's Peugeot has gone, gearbox trouble. And we've also lost Callie Grundle's RS200, reason unknown for that. The weather is brightening up considerably, although the cloud is still fairly low. It's quite misty, so we don't have the helicopter up just yet, but we're hopeful we'll have that very soon. The traffic's building up as we head into service in Dungarvan, and perhaps we'll find out a little bit more shortly.
In Dungarvan, we find Ford driver Mark Lovell, but what had happened to his teammate, Callie Grundle?
Well, we're not sure at the moment. He's just parked on a long straight in first stage today, and we think that he might have just, well, when nobody's really sure, nobody's seen him, but looks like he had a puncture and it might have done some damage to the fuel system.
Now, you've had your own problems during the event. What sort of stage is the car in now?
Well, I think it's getting better as we go along, which is good news, because hopefully others are going to get worse. We haven't had a problem now since, well, early yesterday. And those problems have been really sort of auxiliary parts that have been failing on the major components like gearboxes and things.
Ronan Morgan talks about a minor problem with Coleman's car.
We're just changing the starter motor here and doing some routine work. We were slow in the first 2 this morning. We had a very wrong tyre choice. There was a lot of standing water on the road and we didn't have the right tyres to cope with it, so it was pretty hairy.
But next door there is a more serious tale. Jimmy McRae, the rally leader, has big problems and he wonders what can be done about them. The Metro domination is beginning to look shaky and his chance of a 5th victory unlikely.
We have, in the last 3 stages, we've had a transmission noise and the clutch has been slipping. So they're just checking it out now. I think they've found the problem, but whether we can actually change it in time or not, we've only 15 minutes here and I think it's a gearbox problem.
Is it the beginning of the end?
Well, it's difficult to say because it's all pretty new ball game, this car, so we don't know what happens when this, how long it will go with the problem. I think we're going to continue with the next 2 stages and see what happens then.
Plenty of Ricola. There's a problem here with your disc brake, I believe.
Yeah, it seems to be that I'm using too much brakes and shouldn't use so much. and disc carpet to cracking. We have another new sets, but of course it's a long rally, still only halfway through now.
So you're preserving, you're going ahead with that cracked one in the meantime and keeping your spares for much later on.
That's correct, and of course we are leading quite a lot in Group A, so we can take things much easier now.
So you've had fuel starvation problems really throughout the rally so far?
Well, since the second stage, since Belfast, we have had this problem, and they're trying everything and anything, but they just don't seem to be able to get it, you know.
Who have you got in service crew? Because I see a familiar face behind you.
Yes, Sydney Meek and the boys, they're looking after the car since we started, and they've called on there the Opel people to have a look at it and see what's, you know, can they do anything with it, you know.
Looks as though it's one of those things that we'll probably find out about one stage to go or something like that.
We're on stage 24, Dunmoon, high in the hills above Villierstown in County Waterford, John Tracy country. This Circuit of Ireland rally, this marathon, has not yet run half its course. Could the sting yet be in the tail? Interestingly enough, on leaving Dungarvan, the service area there, Austin McHale, with a smile on his face, said, this rally's only just beginning.
Jimmy McRae probably wishes it was over, with him as winner, of course, but those clutch problems are getting worse. For David Llewellin, it's a chance to snatch back the lead, and he's closing all the time. Henry Toivonen is still going strong in the third Metro, giving Austin Rover their third car in the top 6. In Class 5 for the big engine Group A cars, Englishman David Metcalf's Astra is second and 14th overall. He's just ahead of Dubliner Frank Fennell in his Opel Kadett, but both of them trail to Pentia Ricola for Group A honours. Richard Hall from Antrim leads Class 4, the Group A cars up to 1600cc in his Sunbeam. He's 16th overall. But in the battle for the top, there's a new leader. Llewellin has overtaken McRae, but success seems to have made him a little twitchy. Russell Brooks hasn't put a wheel wrong so far, quietly moving up to second. McRae is back in third, and he's stuck in second gear.
And bad left, slow right over crest, 30. Bad left here, slow right over crest, 30. Sharp right opens, 100. Mid left, 100 kick.
There are problems ahead for Billy Coleman. This is what the spectators saw. Now the driver's view of the same incident.
1 quarter, turn hairpin left, gravel. Repeat, turn hairpin left, gravel, 40. Easy left, 1 quarter.
But within seconds, Ronan Morgan and Billy Coleman are flying again.
Repeat, quick left, 300. Press flat, 200, kink over crest. Easy right, 400. Repeat, easy right, 400. Easy right, 50. Long easy right, 80. Easy left over crest, 70. Quick left, 400.
Austin McHale was almost caught out on the same corner. But Simon Davison's Nissan 240 RS was completely sideways.
Pass right and crest forest. Easy left, 100.
Meanwhile, further into the stage, there's another change of surface for the drivers to contend with as they find snow lying in the Knockmealdown Mountains. So far today, there's been heavy rain, light rain, sunshine, and now snow. Who'd be a service manager trying to pick the right tyres to cope with all that?
Sharp right opens. The big sharp right opens. And left right, slow left. Left right, slow left. Into sharp right, keep out. 50 kick. Easy right, 50 kick. Cross and slow right, stay in. Slow left, 50 kick. Slow right and fast left, stay in. 80 kick. Mid left, mid right, 70 kick. Half up right. Keep left and right. Half right, 1.5 6. Mid left, 8.
As we head along the beautiful Blackwater River towards the Newcastle stage, we discover that not all parts of County Waterford are just so picturesque. This farmyard causes problems for McHale. But Richard Hall, who leads the 1600 Group A class, John Lyons in the Honda Civic glide through the mud beautifully. Where to next? Due to McRae's problems, David Llewellin is now without pressure for the first time in the rally. But Russell Brooks can never relent as he fights against the advance of technology. And Billy Coleman, who continues to fight as only he can to make back lost time. As he descends into the Nire Valley, the stage becomes very narrow and slippery. The mud-covered lanes do not suit the Porsche, and further disaster is at hand.
And crest, long square right to square left. And square left mud. And square left mud, 80. Mid left mud, 400. Sharp right. Okay, start it again. Is it? You think so? Dirty pig of a starter.
Coleman has lost 1.5 minutes, mainly due to a dud starter, which was ironically replaced yesterday. Vincent Bonner is a much happier man. As others fail, Vincent rises up the top 10. Also climbing are the more standard cars like Stanley Orr's Toyota. Billy Coleman's Porsche may not be pretty, but fortunately the effect of the crash is cosmetic rather than structural. Mark Lovell is getting closer and closer as the Englishman takes full advantage of his trouble-free Sunday run. The long hours on the road are beginning to tell. Simon Davidson indulges in a time-consuming but damage-free spin. Not only the scenery is beautiful as we get to the closing stages of an action-packed Easter Sunday, a day which has brought a new leader, David Llewellin. Russell Brooks leads the two-wheel drive cars in second place. And Jimmy McRae, with a new gearbox, charges back with 3 fastest times to third place. One young rally fan just doesn't want to hear about Coleman's misfortune. The Corkman is now fourth, and his gearbox is crying enough. Mark Lovell's confidence grows by the mile. He has moved from 8th to 5th today. And another young man who is making a big name for himself in Group B, Henry Toyman, 6th tonight in Waterford. Then the 2 Irish-owned Opals of Austin McHale and Vincent Bonner. There are still 3 home crews in the top 10 and rising. We now join the large crowds at Port Law for the last stage of the day. If you think that Trevor Fleming was spectacular, climb aboard as we take you on a high-speed taxi ride with Billy Coleman through Port Law as you have never seen it before.
And turn long square right. But the yellow wall and turn long square right. And slow left, 20. Square right. 100 kink black sign. Half flat, 80. Half flat, 300. Slide left over bump, 100. Long slide right, 200. Right flat, 400. right bump later, 600 kink. Long slide left, stay in, tightens, 1 quarter. Easy left, 1/2 kinks. Slide right, 300. Right flat, 200 kink, pole stay. Slide left over bump, 400 kinks. Right flat, 70. Press flat bump, 700 kinks, house railing. Right flat 70, press flat bump, 700 kinks, house railing. Right flat over crest, 500. Repeat 500 sign, crest 1/2, long slide left. Repeat crest 1/2, long slide left, 400 kinks. Left flat, 300. Slide right and left flat, 200. Slide right, 40, left flat, 300. Right flat, 80. Long right flat, 60. Press flat, 400. Long press flat, 300. Slide left, 100. Extra long right flat. Repeat, extra long right flat, 400 kink. Slide left tight.
With the village well behind us, we are now about to go into a 120-mile-an-hour slide with Billy and Ronan.
Press flat, 200. Right flat. Repeat, 200, right flat. Finish. Lovely. Nice piece of driving there. Yeah, give us.
Well, the closing chapter of day 3 of the Circuit of Ireland Rally is providing high drama here in the Rothmans pen in the service halt, because both Rothmans cars need attention. We've got Jimmy McRae in need of a differential. We've got Billy Coleman's Porsche in need of a new gearbox. Interestingly, that is the very fault that put Toivonen out of the rally in a similar car just 2 years ago. The mechanics are under pressure. Will they make it in time for tomorrow?
I can change it in about a quarter of an hour, so with any luck we should be okay. But you can see the way these guys work. I've utmost faith in them.
The team of mechanics, led by Dick Goodman, responded magnificently. The old gearbox was whipped out and the new one installed in just 12.5 minutes. And the spanner men were hard at work on Llewellyn's car too, although he was able to finish the day with a smile on his face.
Still there after 3 days, David?
Yep. Sorry?
Still there after 3 days, going well?
Yes, Jimmy's had a bit of bad luck really today. Gearbox problem and a puncture on the stage, stop and change it. So that's put him like 7 minutes behind us. So we're feeling good.
There. What's the panic with your car right now?
It's just that we got to get into Parc Fermé on time. It's just they've just been doing routine things, I hope, anyway.
Jimmy McRae, this is the very thing you were worried about earlier on today.
Yes, things went too well, you know, the first 2 days of the rally, and everything's happened today. We've had gearbox problems and we had a puncture in the last stage.
Well,
I think overall we've dropped maybe 8 minutes.
When we last talked to you in service at Dungarvan, you had both a clutch and this differential problem. The clutch has been solved, I presume, by the gearbox change.
The clutch and the gearbox has been changed, that's okay, and they're just changing the diff now.
Now, this of course is the one that's really right on the limit time-wise, isn't it?
Yes, we've only 15 minutes service, and well, hopefully we can get the car running. Then we've got 2 or 3 minutes in the morning just to finish things off.
Harry Toivonen, this I believe is your only second event on tarmac.
Yes, it's true, and it has been. The beginning was quite difficult, but now I think it's going better and better.
Have you had any dramas? We haven't seen any.
Yes, I have had some spins and some problems with the brakes, and now my car is turning more left, so I have some kind of problem, but I think we have so good mechanics they can fix it.
Richard Hall from Glengormley, you've been going very well in your class and indeed in Group A.
Yes, we're leading the 1600 Group A class at the minute, just about by a second, I think, from the dealer team Ireland, Peugeot of Ed Colton, and I think we're about 5th overall in Group A, so we're happy.
Austin McHale, you went out this morning in 7th place, you're back this evening in 7th place. You're pleased or disappointed?
Yeah, we're moving up and down. We've got up to 6th on 3 occasions, and then we go back to 7th again. Mark Lovell went by us today. He's going very well. I think he's actually up to 4th now at the moment. And things are going fairly well. You know, we got a major fright this morning. The car took off about 130 mile an hour on the straight. We're sort of shaking hands with the hedges, but we got through that. It would have been easier for a mile or two after that. But other than that, everything's gone fairly well.
John Lyons to be lying in 13th place overall in a standard Honda Civic is a pretty good achievement at this stage.
Well, I'm absolutely delighted, Plum. I didn't expect to be this high overall because the car was completely new and only was delivered to us just about a week before the circuit, so we had no time to do anything to it or any testing, and we're very, very pleased with it.
Stanley Orr from Cumber leading the Group N for normal class. You must be pretty pleased at the moment.
Yes, we've been getting things much our own way at the minute. It seems to be going okay.
How does it feel, though, being put through the mill when you're not able to compete at the same terms as the professionals of the rally?
Well, we're in the production class simply because we can do it more proper than we could any of the other classes, so that's really why we're there.
Drama all the way then on day 3 of the Ruthven Circuit of Ireland Rally 1986, and at the end of it, the lead firmly in the grasp of David Llewellin in the Metro 6R4. But the troubles of Jimmy McRae on this day mean that Llewellyn's is the only Metro at the very top of the pile, and that has allowed Russell Brooks in the rather more conventional Opel Manta to force himself into 2nd place. Let's take a look then at the leaderboard. This is how it looks tonight. Llewellyn in front, 4 minutes and 16 seconds to spare over Brooks. In 3rd place, Billy Coleman, all's well that ends well for him. And then in 4th, and just a second behind, Jimmy McRae, last year's winner, battling to get right back into contention. The Irish have been nothing if not consistent. Austin McHale and Vincent Bonner still joining Coleman in the top 10. McHale 7th and Bonner 8th tonight. Well, tomorrow, it's a bit of a lie-in for the crews. Then at 11, they're off into County Tipperary again. Further special stages at Slieve na Mon and also at Borrisoleigh, and then into the general direction of Galway, where they'll arrive after 6 more special stages at around 6:15. And it's from Galway that we will bring you our circuit report tomorrow night. But before we leave you, think back to last night, or rather the early hours of yesterday morning, and the incident that took Saeed Al-Hajri out of the rally. Now, you'll recall we had an onboard camera on that car. The onboard camera survived. The tape has now reached us, and we can bring that spin to you. This is the Rothmans Porsche. It's 4:30 in the morning on special stage 12, Fells Hill near Ballynahinch in County Down, and Saeed Al-Hajri is at the wheel. Good night.
Okay, start it again.
You got carried away with the speed, did you?
No, I wasn't worried at all.
Day 4 of the circuit, a wet Monday morning in Waterford, and ahead of the surviving crews, 6 stages on the long trek to Galway, where they'll arrive around tea time. And the day begins with the story of a Welshman, an Englishman, an Irishman and a Scot. For those are the drivers figuring most prominently on the leaderboard from last night. The leader is still Llewellin, and look down there through the top 10. You'll see that for home fans there's a lot to cheer too, because there are 3 Irishmen there, Coleman, McHale and Bonner. But of course the rally isn't all about the top drivers. There are those in it battling just to keep pace, as it were. This is the story of one of those, John Underwood, who began the rally back in Belfast last Friday, working out of a tent. This is how it's gone for him.
Before the start in Belfast, we went to Crawfordsburn Country Park to find this enthusiastic team, who had improved their accommodation arrangements slightly by moving into a scout hut.
It's very comfortable. We have a gas fire here. There's a kitchen out the back, a bedroom, a toilet block and a shower. It's all you need, really. So we're quite happy here.
Well, this is enthusiasm, I think, like I've never seen it in rallying. What's your total budget for the entire event?
We reckon about £1,000 if all goes to plan, and we actually get round. So.
And how does that break down?
The major part of it we've already spent. There's about 325 on the entry, 35 to use a service car, £68 for insurance. The maps cost Russell about £50. There's the pace notes, which we bought ready-made. They cost us a further £75. For the events, we've had to put the tyres on the car. We'll have to put petrol in it all the way round, and the service car as well. So there's still a lot more to spend.
There's been a lot of ingenuity in this whole plan.
Well, we don't have any financial resources, so we have to use our ingenuity to get out here. The aim is to do the Open Championship, go out on international events, gain a lot of experience, which we can perhaps put to good use later on.
I know the sacrifices that you make for motorsport are quite incredible. I believe you actually used to sleep in your rally car.
That was last year when I was doing the Nova Junior Cup, a one-make series for Vauxhall Novas for young drivers under 25. And the salary began to get a bit stretched, and I had the choice between paying the rent cheque and going out on a rally, and the rally won, I'm afraid.
John is being ably assisted in this great adventure by co-driver and general organiser Russell Eden, an unemployed quantity surveyor from the north of England.
We anticipate the accommodation for the whole of the circuit will only cost us £24. We couldn't afford hotels, so I actually contacted the Irish Scout movement, who recommended this site to me. We came over with the intention of camping. We couldn't find anywhere dry enough to pitch the tents, and the warden was kind enough to offer this wonderful sort of bunkhouse to us, which we are most grateful for. This is costing us 50p per night per person.
I quite enjoy the challenge of getting out there on events and spending very little and being in the same events as the Works crews.
3 days later, unlike many of the Works crews, they're still in the rally.
We've got 30 stages completed on a budget that probably wouldn't even do the PR man for one of the major teams.
Oh, we've just had a major budget change. We've had to buy some racing tyres. We were using the road tyres, and we punctured 2 in successive stages. They were breaking up without actually hitting anything, so we've had to put some racers on, 300 quid's worth.
Have you got enough money to finish the event?
We think so, yeah. So it's all on access.
Well, when everybody else goes off to their luxury hotel tonight, what will you be doing?
We'll be going down to the tents tonight. We used them last night and they're excellent. The only thing that we are short of is brake pads. If there's anyone in TV land with brake pads for a Samba with Teves brakes, that'd be very much appreciated.
The ingenuity of Underwood and Eden and their part-time service crew has captured the imagination to such an extent that an impromptu whip round takes place on Waterford Quay.
Oh, don't look at my handbag completely now. I give him a 5 after all. Right? Out of 10 kids, that's not bad.
If this keeps on, we'll be making a profit.
Of course rallying is expensive, but John proves that if you're determined enough, you can get into the action with the big boys.
Well, one bit of good news we did learn here in Waterford, the names of the 4 members of the Irish rally team who are going off to the Rothmans Cyprus rally in September. And those names are about to be announced by Richard O'Rourke, the team coordinator. Richard, who are the lucky 4?
Well, the 4 people we've selected are AJ Keating, Frank Marr, Maria Maloney and Pat Dunyan.
I said they're going to represent Ireland in Cyprus. Why Cyprus?
Well, we've had a lot of contact with Cyprus over the last couple of years. I've been out there for the last 2 years, and other people like Brian Patterson and Sammy Hamill and some journalists have operated in the press room in Cyprus. And the press officer of the Cyprus Rally, Tony Christodoulou, has in fact been the assistant press officer here for the last couple of years, so there's quite a lot of contact there. And the Cypriots, funnily enough, think that Cyprus is a little bit like Ireland in that it's divided through political problems, and they're an island country like ourselves. It's a totally different type of rally into Ireland, of course. It's loose surface, very hot, very dusty. And we thought if we're going to take people abroad at all, we may as well make it an adventure for them.
But what of the unsung heroes of any rally, the service crews? David Lapworth, team engineer of Rothmans, gives us some insight into their world.
It's hard work for the mechanics because they usually end up working longer hours actually than the drivers by quite a margin.
How do you recruit these people? I mean, are they motorsport enthusiasts?
Well, we've got a mixture. We've got probably now in the team 50% sort of established old hands that have been around rallying for years. You know, some of the lads have been around for 10 years or more. And we've got 3 or 4 young lads, 2 of whom we started off as apprentices and are just learning the ropes from the others.
Well, now they're really producing miracles. A gearbox change in 13 minutes, that's totally unheard of 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. That's probably 50% practice and sort of tuning the methods, and 50% actually just got the little modifications to the way which bolts we use in which places, trying to get it so that perhaps as many bolts as possible are a common spanner size, so there's not too much searching for spanners, just lots of little tricks, and it gradually gets quicker and quicker.
David, a damp morning, but I don't suppose that worries you too much?
No, as long as the weather stays pretty constant, it's easier to choose the tyres. The problem is when we have showery weather like we're having yesterday and the stages are wet and then dry and then wet, that's when it's difficult. So I'd rather it stays one thing.
You've got quite a comfortable lead in hand. Does that mean you can afford to take things a little bit easier this morning?
No, I don't think so, because when Jimmy had a problem yesterday, we thought, well, we'll ease off a little bit, and we eased off too much, and Russell took 23 seconds off us on the stage, so I mean, you mustn't ease off too much, but yet you can like just take it a little bit easier perhaps.
If this is easier, it doesn't look it. Russell Brooks knows that this is the section of the rally that will really count. Ahead are 21 stages and nearly 48 hours of non-stop motoring. Coleman's plan is to stay in touch with Brooks, who is just over 3 minutes ahead. Harry Toivonen makes it 3 metros in the top 10. And Austin McHale starts the run home in a lively mood. Vincent Bonner's performances this weekend have been outstanding, proving that his 1983 Donegal win was no flash in the pan. Simon Davidson is in the sole remaining Nissan 240 RS, and this notoriously tough car could well gain a lot of ground in what lies ahead. Arikula on the homeward run with that enormous Group A lead. It was 8 minutes as they left Waterford. David Metcalf in the GM Dealer Sport Astra is still second in Group A. But less than a minute behind, we have the similar car, if differently named, Dealer Opel Team Ireland Cadet GSI of Frank Fennell. Brian Wiggins makes it a GM quartet at the top of Group A. But Andrew Wood is now exactly a minute behind. Eddie Coulton is having a glorious first outing in the Group A Peugeot. They have now moved ahead of the following Richard Hall, but only 19 seconds separate them. Although the order is now reversed, the battle has been this close for 2 days. Harry Hockley's opposition in the up to 1300 Group A class has been from Charles McVitie's Samba. And the Englishman has to hurry, as McVitie is only 18 seconds back. Then comes another Dealer Opel Team Ireland entry, the Cadet GSI of David Wright, lying second in Group N and leading his class. Coming round the mountain of Slieve Le Mans, the leader. These right-angular bends suit the Manta. But there are reports that Billy Coleman has a misfire. But we can't detect it here. Jimmy McRae isn't making any great inroads on Llewellin at the moment. But here's the story of the day so far. Mark Lovell is closing rapidly on Coleman, and the new Ford is hungry for 4th place. Another fast mover, the Unipart Metro. In the top 10, we still have 4 four-wheel drive cars. Sadly, at the end of this 13-mile trip round Slieve Le Mans, we are missing Vincent Bonner. The engine has finally given up, and Davidson moves up to 8th. And we now have 2 Group A cars in the top 10, Pentti Ricola and David Metcalf, whose wide-wheeled front-wheel drive Astra is a handful over the puddles. David Wood hurries through the lanes. And here comes that fabulous up to 1600cc Group A battle. Eddie Coulton and Richard Hall in the car parts Sunbeam, reveling in the wet conditions.
Louise Nolan's RS Turbo was forced out of the rally with clutch problems on day 1. But now the blonde Dublin girl is back, acting as a 00 sweeper car, with our low slung camera showing just how slippery those early stages are. With 2 stages complete, the battle on the roads is replaced by a battle against the clock, as the cars arrive for some restoration work in the Littleton service area. It's a time of controlled panic as tyres are replaced and any damage is repaired. Expert maintenance here can mean the difference between success and failure.
The roads are like this.
The cars are replenished with fuel. And there's much needed sustenance for the crews too. It's a time when vital decisions have to be taken. Decisions which can make or break a car's chance of victory.
You go for the intermediates.
Yeah, narrow cut these things.
Okay.
It's a bit of a problem for us. Both stages were very, very muddy, and in a 2-wheel drive car, you have real serious problems with traction, and we lose out a lot of time to the 4-wheel drive cars. I think something in the region of 20 to 30 seconds a stage.
Conditions this morning have really favoured the 4-wheel drive cars, and we've dropped, I think it's about 20 seconds in the first couple there now.
Difficult day for tyre choice once again.
Yes, we're opting for the safe choice all the time, and I think that's the way for us to treat it at the moment. What we're really looking forward to is the sections in Galway, Partry Mountains, and maybe some of these cars will have problems again.
I still think that a lot of things can happen, and I firmly believe I have a really good chance to.
The Circuit of Ireland Rally has returned to Tipperary this year, part of the world where the scenery is attractive in the extreme. But one of the local landmarks is Keeper Hill here, and they say around these parts that if it snows on Keeper Hill on Easter Monday, the tenants get a year rent-free. Well, it's Easter Monday, there's no snow on Keeper Hill, but the Circuit of Ireland Rally is going through this part of the world.
The heat is really on as the professionals revel in these glorious stages 7 miles south of Nina. Jimmy McRae is rapidly catching Russell Brooks, but not David Llewellin. But that misfire in the Porsche has cost Coleman 32 seconds over Brooks in the 2-wheel drive battle. Lovell's progress is electrifying in the Ford. The current British national champion is now 9 seconds behind Coleman in 5th place. Harry Toivonen's excellent run is now being hampered by electrical problems, and he arrives at stage 34 in quite a flap. The Shell Manta 400, driven by Austin McHale, is undoubtedly one of the entertainers of the event, as the Dubliner flings the Black Manta round with gay abandon. Simon Davidson has now a gearbox problem. It will have to be changed in the Limerick service. Are these Limerick ladies posing for Pentti? Or merely stargazing at the Group A astrologers? Richard Hall in the Sunbeam TI hurries through, ahead of John Lyons, who is already prepared for serving after hours in the Budweiser Honda Civic. Then it's the Group N battle for normal cars between Stanley Orr's rear-wheel drive Toyota Corolla and the front-wheel drive Opel of Monaghan man David Wright. At the Limerick service area, a worried Harry Toivonen is uncertain about his future in the event. He has lost a lot of time on the Tipperary stages.
The last two stages our engine was not running well. It was only running with 4 or 5 cylinders, and so then the whole power was missing, and it looks quite bad now.
It doesn't look repairable?
No. The mechanics are just looking at, and let's see what happens.
However, 15 minutes later, as Harry prepares to leave, there is much better news from Dave's champion, Red's team manager.
Well, I'm sure it's still a long way to go, so, you know, I don't think we're too bothered about the odd second here or there at the moment.
Is the car going to stick it?
I don't see any reason why not.
Stage 35, Loch Cutra, 14.5 miles of smooth, fast roads with deceptively tight bends. Coleman and Morgan are hard at work in the Porsche cockpit, but there's a tricky moment coming up as the brakes lock up.
Slow left opens, 1/2. Turn bad right. 20. Sharp left, 20.
But it's not a serious problem. The Porsche continues. Llewellyn's position at the head of the field remains secure. As he heads into Galway, the young Welshman says he'd be happy if the rally ended now. Russell Brooks has been driving brilliantly throughout the day, holding second place in spite of a painful hip injury. His team manager is searching Galway for a physiotherapist. Coleman's car still bears the scars from yesterday's accident, but it's still going well. However, the final stage of the day is another of those hairy moments.
And right flat, 200 over crest.
But once again, the Cork farmer comes out unscathed. Jimmy McRae has been flying over the last two stages of the day, setting the fastest times in his effort to catch Brooks and Llewellyn. Mark Lovell and Peter Davis have slowed their charge over the early stages and are anxious to get the RS200 into the final service of the afternoon. Austin McHale has been throwing the taillight with style today, and the crowd love it. Simon Davison's Nissan is still going strong in 8th place, while Pinty Auricola is 9th and still leads Group A. Frank Fennell, the Dublin photographer, has forced his way into the top 10 in his dealer Opel Team Ireland Cadet. John Lyons shows a certain amount of style in his Budweiser Honda. While Andrew Wood is heading for a top 10 place soon, having fought his way back from 43rd after an early accident. And Brian Much has severely altered the front of his Strada, but he still makes it into Galway. And helping to maintain the Scandinavian challenge, Lars Sundling from Norway in his Group A Honda. And so to Galway and an hour's rest for the crews. The 10th placed Frank Fennell drives in after a very successful day.
Very good, yeah. We think we have ourselves up to 10th now. Started off 12th. We're very happy now at the moment.
So what were conditions like out there?
It was very, very slippy early on, much slippier than previously. So everybody was in bother. We had a few hairy moments, but managed to get through.
Is he looking forward to tonight?
Yes, after a rest now we should be, yeah.
So that's it, no problems.
Meanwhile, Penty Auricula's co-driver, Ronan McNamee, has a problem to solve.
The service crew were asking me where in Galway could they get something to eat, and we've only got just an hour here. So there's a hamburger joint up the street, and we're all going to that now.
Well, Llewellin is leading this rally into the final night. We talked to you the first night. You thought you were leading, then it turned out you weren't, but now you are very definitely. It must feel great.
Yes, it is a really nice feeling, but of course, got a long, hard night in front of us, so just keep my fingers crossed that we don't have any problems.
Which is really what it must come down to, because you're in a handy enough position, I would have thought, not to have to go absolutely on the limit.
That's right. I mean, we're 5 minutes in the lead, so if we have a problem, then obviously it'll be shortened a lot. So if we have a good, smooth run, hopefully we'll do it all right.
Well, Russell Brooks was able to take advantage of the misfortune of the former teammate Jimmy McRae to claim second place, but the work still has to be done.
Oh yes, Jimmy's going very quickly, and you've got to remember, of course, that the Manta is a very reliable rally car, but it's one of the old type of rally cars, and it's not as powerful as the Metro, so very pleased that we can hang on to second place at the moment.
I understand you had a bit of a problem and you were seeking physiotherapy.
I don't know what it is, but I woke up this morning with a terrible pain in my backside. And it wasn't Mike Broad either. It's got a bit easier now as the day's worn on, so not too much trouble.
Jimmy McRae is in third place with a Metro that gave problems earlier on, but now is okay.
The car is okay, and the car's going well. The run up to Galway, we've had no problems, so we just hope we can continue through the night like that.
You gave yourself a lot to do. Is it still there for the winning?
I don't think, unless David Llewellin has problems, I don't see us catching him. In fact, I don't think we could catch him, other than he had a problem.
But presumably that isn't going to enter your head when you start to drive again tonight.
No. We're just out to try and be in Belfast first.
Billy Coleman is in fourth place, and a very popular fourth place, of course, but you've had a few problems.
Mostly small problems today, George. The big problem we've had, of course, that bloody puncture 2 days ago, and no matter what I do, I can't seem to make up the time. We had a bit of an accident yesterday, which of course was in desperation, trying to make up 4 minutes, which is not easy to do. And we just can't really crack Russell Brooks. That's the position of it. The margin is exactly the same. We've done 6 stages since Waterford, and literally every second one he's beaten us, we've beaten him, and never more than 3 seconds in it, so not a lot you can do in that situation.
Well, now you're facing a long night, a very long night. What are the particular difficulties of driving at night?
Well, fortunately it looks a good clear night, so hopefully the fog is about the worst thing rally drivers always fear. It doesn't look as if we'll have that, but there are indications of maybe frost later on, which actually could suit my car, so it might not be such a bad thing.
So day 4 of the Circuit of Ireland has been completed, but there is still the night to come. Our programme coming to you from Galway now, bringing you an up-to-date position, but as you're watching, the drivers are still out there competing. 8 special stages through the night before breakfast in Omagh, and then 7 more to bring them to the finish at the City Hall in Belfast just before 2 o'clock tomorrow. Let me remind you of the standings at the moment as we go into this final night of the circuit. Llewellin still leads in his Metro 6R4. Russell Brooks is second. Jimmy McRae is in third place. Billy Coleman is in fourth. And then perhaps the joker in the pack in the brand new Ford RS200, Mark Lovell. Could he be the one to spring the surprise? Coleman's in fourth. Austin McHale is in seventh. Vincent Bonner is gone, but there are still 3 Irishmen in the top 10. Frank Fennell has squeezed in at the bottom of that top 10 list. Well, that's our programme for the moment. Hope you have enjoyed it and that you'll join us again for a final circuit report tomorrow night. Good night for now.
100 first on left, and slow right opens 300. Press flat, 200. 30 before end of first on right, left over crest and bridge, sharp left. Repeat, 30 before end of first on right, left over crest and bridge, sharp left, sharp right. Oh. You all right? Yeah.
Half past 7 on day 5, the final day of the 1986 Rothmans Circuit of Ireland Rally. We're in Omagh. It's a damp day, but it's been a night of high drama. Two of the top contenders are now out. We lost Billy Coleman and Jimmy McRae, the Rothmans Porsche, the Rothmans Metro, on the same stage, stage 38. In the darkness, both of them hit a wall, separate walls, but the result was the same. They're both out of the rally. Well, you've survived where others haven't. What sort of night was it?
It's very rough, bumpy, very loose stages. But we got here.
No problems?
Not very many breaks, but sometimes breaks and other times none.
John Hayden, what sort of a night did you have?
Oh, it was fine. We fixed the engine in Galway, so we had some full power for pretty well the first time, for about 24 hours, and it was going well.
And what did you see during the night? Did you see any of the drama?
Well, we didn't see it happening, but we saw a few cars parked up in strange places.
Well, we've seen Billy Coleman's accident. It was a very severe accident he had, and the stages were very bad. Those last 6 stages were very bad and dangerous. The last 3 were very dangerous and car wreckers.
What actually happened to Billy Coleman?
Well, I'd say he came in too quick into the bridge and he hopped in front of the car off the bridge, what it appeared to be. Even when we seen it, he had a triangle up, and when we seen them, the triangle, we nearly couldn't stop ourselves. It was a very dangerous section of the road, so he hadn't much hope.
But for the inside story of the accident, it's over to Billy Coleman's co-driver, Ronan Morgan.
When we reached Galway, we had a couple of tough decisions to make. Billy has a reputation for going very quick in the dark, and we had to decide then whether we would go very hard and try and move up a couple of places and eventually go for an outright win, or whether we would just take it handy from there on in and go for maybe a 4th overall finish. So we spoke to our team management, and we all decided the best thing to do was go for broke, which we did. We went very hard then in the first couple of stages. We chose a dry weather tyre for the stages, and unfortunately at the start of the first stage it started raining, so we were on the wrong tyre completely for that group of stages. In the middle of the second stage, we came over this brow much too quick, as you can see, and we just hit the bridge with the right-hand side of the car and demolished the end of the bridge along with the parapet, and then continued off into the bog on the right-hand side and hit a rock then on the right-hand side. So the impact was fairly severe. Luckily, we both escaped with just minor bruises and sprains and whatever.
In fact, this circuit will see the end of Coleman and Morgan's connection with Porsche. Could their next drive for the Rothmans team be in a Metro? Meanwhile, the rally goes on without them.
From Omagh, the cars have come here high into the Sperrins. We're at Barnes Gap on special stage 45. Not only did those leaders go out, Wiggins and Metcalf have gone too. John Lyons in the Budweiser Honda, he's disappeared with electrical problems. And John Underwood, you remember him, trying to do the rally on £1,000. He too is out. Of those still involved, Lovell has had gearbox problems. Austin McHale lost his service vehicle when it broke its springs. And Harry Toivonen, problems for him of a different kind. Driving his very first tarmac rally, he reports himself to be absolutely whacked. Well, after this, they've got 6 more special stages to go, and looking at it dispassionately, you've got to say that if Llewellin can hold it all together, it seems certain now that he'll record his biggest victory yet.
The night had been as bad as everyone had predicted, and Llewellin, who is having difficulty getting round this tight hairpin, had been lucky not to go off on the same bend that claimed Jimmy McRae. The tiredness shows even for a 3-times winner like Russell Brooks. Apart from this mishap, his only real problem is that the Andrews Heat for Hire team only have 2 minutes lateness left. They can't afford any more mistakes. After Billy Coleman's crash, Austin McHale is now the leading Irish driver and in a glorious 4th place. The nightmare of the Mayo stages are over, but the dealer Opel Team Ireland car is going to have great problems in maintaining that place to Belfast. Third place man Harry Toivonen can take no more. His rally is over the hill. Out of sight, he makes a mistake, but a bigger one is to come. Sadly, we will not see this man at the finish. Despite this overshoot, the Ford is by far the fastest. Since Omer, he has closed on McHale by 59 seconds, all the more significant as this battle is now for third place. Others have tried to climb to Auricula's height in Group A, but Penty's domination has been total. The latest challengers to fall by the wayside are Metcalf and Wiggins. Frank Fennell and Tom Callaghan, though, in their cadet, have come out of the night in second place in Group A. But the strain is showing. He is, however, now also in seventh place overall. Andrew Wood has been trying desperately to regain that place from Fennell. Desperately being the operative word, as he has been off the road for the second time in the rally. Sean Goodyear follows him through.
Come on,
Richard
move.
Hall's heroic drive in the Sunbeam has brought him into the top 10. And back ahead of his great rival Eddie Coulton in the 1600 Group A class. This battle has been truly amazing for the entire rally, but the young Glenn Gormley driver has opened up a 2.5-minute gap over the former Irish champion in the Peugeot. The reliability of Stanley Orr's Toyota has been amazing, greatly helped by the Cumber's driver's smooth car-preserving style. For once, David Wright has not been able to wrest the Group N lead, but Orr is always in his sights. And for privateer Joe Butler in the Renault 5 Turbo, it has been a fantastic adventure, with the possible bonus of a class win waiting for him in Belfast. David McElroy's Manta 200 is second to Butler in the 2-litre Group B class. While the Shaw brothers, Leo and Kevin, could give Toyota 2 Corollas at the head of the Group N field. At Ballymoney Service, all the buzz is about the battle for third place, as Mark Lovell explains.
We've been up and down the leaderboard all night, and we started off this morning 5th, and we're working our way back up to 3rd, hopefully, to overhaul Austin in the Manta. We're just doing a precautionary change on the gearbox, putting another one in at the moment, just to make sure that everything's all right for the last 4, to give us the best chance.
Well, how fit do you feel at this stage after being up for almost over 24 hours? How fit do you feel to take this strain?
Well, I don't feel as good as I did at the start, but with all the adrenaline pumping around and, you know, the challenge of trying to knock Austin out of 3rd place, we'll find some energy somewhere. No problem.
Mark Lovell is really closed at the moment. I think he's only 10 seconds behind us now, and the conditions are very slippery, so I don't think we'll be able to hold him over the last 4.
Well, now you've got the might of the Ford Motor Company really on your tail. It's a tall order. Are you going to try and resist that challenge, or are you just going to have to settle for 4th?
No, I wouldn't settle for 4th. You know, the rally is never over till you really get to the finish. I realised that over the last 3 years at the circuit, and you know, we just keep going to the finish. We said at the start, we take it handy, and we play it by ear.
Russell Brooks, you're fairly secure in 2nd place now.
Yes, I think our job at the moment is to take it easy, don't make any silly mistakes as people are still doing, and stay on the road and try and just finish as we are.
The only worrying thing, I would imagine, is that you have very little sort of maximum lateness time left in this rally.
We're driving very carefully, we're not stretching the car at all, and we're certainly not being adventurous, so hopefully nothing will go wrong.
Dare you even think about the implication of winning the Circuit of Ireland for your career at this stage?
No, not really. I mean, it'll be my first international win if it does happen, and I'll be absolutely delighted, but it's a bit early, I think, to talk about that.
As the Metro is fettled, Ireland is going to be well represented on the finishers list. Frank Fennell, 7th overall with 4 stages to go in a Group A car. You must be very well pleased with that.
Very pleased, very pleased. Our best, if he succeeded, be our best result ever, so I'm more than pleased.
Richard Hall, in the top 10, did you ever dream of that when you left Belfast 4 days ago?
No, it's unbelievable, really. We've just been going very, very steady throughout the rally, a nice pace, and no major problems, you know, and here we are, up into, I think, 9th.
Stanley Orr, you've led the very important Group N category right from the start.
Yeah, that's right. We've had a good, steady run, no real problems, and we seem to get away with everything, so we're still here so far, and it looks okay.
Go. Young Llewellin had the sort of rally drivers dream about right from the start. Having finished 8th in a Quattro last year, he knew four-wheel drive cars could finish the circuit, but could they win it? As the 1984 National Rally champion, his driving ability wasn't in doubt, but would the Metros stick the pace?
You know, the four-wheel drive has never shown over here in Ireland because the roads are so bumpy, and it does put so much strain on the transmission. But they are getting more reliable now and getting stronger, and I'm very pleased with the car, the way the car's handling over the bumps and all the jumps. I mean, it really does feel very, very good.
In fact, the early stages developed into a 1-2 for the Metros, with Llewellin having a tremendous dice with Jimmy McRae. In Dublin on Saturday morning, Llewellin was back to second.
Jimmy was, I think, 5 seconds in front of us when we started this morning, and we took something like 20 seconds or 25 seconds off him during the next 3 stages. And on the last stage, though, we'd been running slicks all morning, and I think the choice was right for the first 3 stages. That's why we were quicker than him. But on the last stage, it was the wrong choice, and he took it all back and a bit more. He took 35 seconds back off us, so Jimmy's back in the lead again now.
So it's the battle will resume in the Wicklow Mountains.
That's right.
McRae is looking for his 5th Circuit of Ireland victory to equal Paddy Hopkirk's record. Llewellin has never won an international rally. Both men are pushing their cars to the limit, but neither can afford to make the slightest mistake. Choosing the right tyres becomes vitally important.
It's a very long way to go still, and a lot can happen. The reason we dropped so much time to Jimmy was on the last 2 stages we went in on slicks and he went in on wets, and it turned out to his advantage. The last stage was very, very wet, and he took 30 seconds out of us on 1 stage.
Llewellin's all-white Metro continues to pile on the pressure over the mountains. But as the rally reached Waterford on Saturday afternoon, the Welshman still had to settle for 2nd place. Early morning on day 3, and the famous Sunday run was to prove decisive. Llewellin really puts the power down, showing the style which had already brought him a 1st and 2nd in the opening rounds of this year's National Rally Championship. Suddenly, it's all change at the top, as Llewellin capitalises on McRae's mechanical problems. The Scotsman is stuck in 2nd gear and drops a lot of time. Llewellin's Metro takes over the lead for the 3rd time as McRae struggles back to Waterford in a change of gearbox. And there's some activity around Llewellin's car too, but that appears to be simply routine.
What's the
panic with your car right now?
Just that we got to get into Park Ferme on time. It's just they've just been doing routine things. I hope, anyway.
You hope. No problems at all.
No, they don't tell me, man.
And after that, well, it was thumbs up all the way from then on, with a little help from that huge wing at the back of the Metro 6R4.
It does have a lot of effect. At 70 mile an hour, I think there's something like 400 pounds down pressure, which obviously when you're travelling along these bumpy roads does help to keep you down, so it does do a lot of good.
Rallying is all about teamwork, and Llewellin was fortunate in having the multi-talented Phil Short in the co-driver's seat. The huge Yorkshireman has already won the circuit back in 1973 with Jack Tordoff. He flies his own private plane and has a degree in Latin and Greek. Together, Llewellin and Short bring the Metro home to Belfast with only minor damage to a rear wheel arch.
Well, that was post and rail fence on a hairpin, and I must say that the marshalling was very good, because usually you get people sitting on the post and rail fence and on the outside of the bend, but the marshals have done their job really well because there was nobody there, and it was a good job because I would have caught their legs if they had been there.
At what point of the rally did that happen?
Oh, that was second or third day, I think. Sometime.
Yeah. Well done anyway.
Just shows I'm trying, you see.
Stand back up there!
But there are still 4 stages to go. For Russell Brooks and Mike Broad, it's gently, gently to the finish. But for Austin McHale and Mark Lovell, these stages will decide 3rd place. On Ora Lodge and Glen Dunn, the Dubliner responds magnificently to the challenge. Despite a missed gear change here, he has stemmed the avalanche of time. Mark Lovell continues to close, but not at the rate he had prior to Ballymoney. The Dubliner now is in with a real chance of retaining that 3rd position from the flying Ford. At the Sala and Glen stages, David Llewellyn's dreams are beginning to look a reality. And Austin Rover are proving an enormous point about the quality of their product. Then it's all eyes glued for the last-ditch efforts of the Shell Dealer Opel Team Ireland Manta. McHale, after 24 hours on the road, is calling on his last reserves. Third would be a dream come true for the Irish champion, but can he stop the advance of the RS 200? Now it's Lovell. After 650 stage miles, only 23 are left, and Mark has to pull back a further 47 seconds. That's over 2 seconds a mile. Has the Ford that much of an advantage? The answer is no. After 5 days motoring, Austin McHale retains 3rd place by 2 seconds.
Di Llewellyn's first international victory was appreciated by young and old alike, especially by his team manager, Dave Campion.
Yes, it's one of quite a few firsts. One for David, first for the car, first for the team.
And really, I mean, it has surprised everyone, I think it's fair to say, because it has been so reliable.
Yes, I suppose it has, but I think the reliability has always been there. We started the event with high hopes, and we didn't have any particular qualms about reliability. We thought that as long as the event went according to plan, then we shouldn't have too many problems.
All right, Sherrod, the chief engineer for the team, obviously very pleased. You've done something right. You've got this car right to the finish of one of the toughest rallies in Europe. What's the secret?
And dedication from the boys in the workshop, and a little bit of thought and polish, you know. It's all we really need.
All the pundits were saying before the rally that the circuit was too tough for the four-wheel drive supercars, and in particular the Metros too. What do you have to say to them now?
Oh, we've just proved it, haven't we, you know? We've broken the domination of the two-wheel drive Mantha, and that's it.
The start of big things for the team this year?
I certainly hope so.
It's a super little tool. All we needed as a team was a good driver and a good machine, and we've got it. And we've proved it.
You can't beat that combination.
You can't.
And the winning combination of man and machine duly arrived at the City Hall to be officially proclaimed #1 and enjoy the acclamation of the crowd.
David Llewellin, you're probably the winner of one of the toughest Circuit of Irelands ever.
Thank you very much. I'm chuffed a bit, very pleased.
Fantastic day for yourself, and of course a fantastic day for Wales.
Yes, it's a fantastic day for me. It's my first international win, and also for the car. It's the first international win for the car, and I think it's the first Welshman ever to win the rally as well. So altogether, I'm absolutely chuffed a bit.
And of course, Phil, this is a position you've been in before as Circuit of Ireland winner.
Yes, it's a long time ago, 13 years ago in fact.
It's changed quite a bit in those days.
Yes, now we've got pace notes, and it's much faster. The cars are very advanced. It's a different rally altogether.
Was there anywhere along the very long and tiring route that you were a little bit scared that you might not be the winner of this year's circuit?
Well, it was very difficult on the 3 long stages coming out of Galway. It was raining, we weren't on quite the right tyres, it was very slippery, they were very quick stages. We had some pretty scary moments in there, and we came very close to going off the road in quite a few places. But David was absolutely fantastic, held it on the road when other drivers, much more experienced than him, came unstuck. So I reckon that was where we won the rally.
You're a farmer by trade, I believe.
That's right. Yes, I love the farm, and whenever I'm not rallying, I go straight home to the farm and help out.
Well, is there anybody there special, or you're still a single man?
There is somebody there special, but I am still a single man, I think.
And how are you going to celebrate this great victory?
Lots of Guinness, I think. That would be the order.
Your long-term ambitions in rallying?
The highest, of course, world champion.
Who's to say it won't happen? To the victor, the laurels. And with the Welsh Dragon triumphant, they'll be singing in the valleys tonight.
Long after the excitement of the last 5 days has dulled and been replaced by other sporting memories, the 2 new stars of this Easter weekend will be remembered. David Llewellin and the Metro Supercar.
And that is the story of the Rothmans Circuit of Ireland 1986. A new face, a new name, a new champion. And why shouldn't a Welsh rugby player take Ireland's top rallying prize? David Llewellin, very much the star of the show, in an event that provided the worst that the weather could offer, and some of the best too. Lovely sunny finish at the City Hall, and Llewellin and Short there to claim their prize. Tough driving over 5 days. It took some of the best of their names in rallying out of the game. 4 Irishmen, though, in the top 10. Austin McHale finished 3rd, his first finish in the Circuit of Ireland. Frank Fennell was 7th. Richard Hall from Mossley came in 9th, and a marvellous drive from Eddie Colton brought him in 10th. But the day, the hour and the weekend belongs to David Llewellin, the new Welsh champion. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the 1986 circuit and look forward to next year. Goodbye to you.